Nothing's worse than people trying to hog camera.
No.
What happened is I caught my fish, it came off on the... Oh, wow.
The bruiser.
That sun's getting a little low, so usually that makes my skin tones show up a little bit better.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, there he found the big one.
Oh, wow.
He's a fish.
Wow.
Shade of that dock.
Oh, I think I see a theme.
It ain't nothing big, but that might be a theme. There we go, we'll take him. Not a bad start.
He's healthy.
In case you guys haven't noticed, we're out here back with my buddy Travis Moran, the official host #1 of Lucky Tackle Box. We're back out here on Clear Lake. It is the end of August and Travis is snagged up throwing a lipless and I'm throwing a jig. We're probably going to be focusing on docks and shade lines today, throwing jigs, throwing frogs, maybe throwing some buzz baits around shade, break down some extra tips for you guys about how to pick this stuff apart a little bit better. Stay with us. We're gonna have some fun. How about it, Trav? Yes? No?
Let's do this.
You're pretty sure?
I'm 100% almost positive.
Keep that tip up, watch this.
Let's get a little double hook up here.
Black and blue jig, once again.
All right, keep in mind, Nick.
Oh, look at that.
What?
Oh my God.
You know what we have there?
Holy.
I watched Nick's last show on Clear Lake, filming crappie here.
Dude, that's probably about the biggest crappie we caught on that whole film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Well, hot damn, because I don't ever catch crappie.
That is nice. If I was going home tonight, I would say throw that in the live well because I'd eat it. And I know you're not supposed to eat anything from Clear Lake, right?
Nice.
That's a stud. What'd you catch that on? I know that one was in a Lucky Tackle Box recently.
That was the, this is the Vibe Machine.
Vibe Machine.
Vibe Machine from Sebille.
Sebille.
Yes.
Not Sable, right?
It's however you want to say it.
Okay.
I'm not judging.
It's open to interpretation. It's a little better. Oh, there goes my trailer.
Yes, there it goes.
So here's the thing. When I'm fishing a jig, I'm going to tell you guys something. Travis was mentioning how far my line was going to swim off. I was watching it. Boat's going this way, line's swimming this way. The thing is with a jig, 9 times out of 10, they think it's a crawdad. Sometimes you can imitate a bluegill. They will hang on to it. Most guys miss jig bites when they pounce on it. I reel up, hold a semi-tight line, make sure they're swimming with it before I drill them. Oh. Let me get it. Oh, there we go. That looks like a little better fish there.
He's got a little more attitude, is what it's.
A little bit more attitude on him?
What did he say?
Uh-oh, he's around something.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
And
he's
continue. Might have felt like him. That's
Yeah,
what that explains.
okay. He's
No,
fast
he
though.
got him out.
He is fast.
Look at that. I mean, that guy's trying.
Dude,
He's trying.
that guy's horsely.
That is a belly right there. I don't feel hard pieces in there. He doesn't have red lips. There's shad everywhere. So I'm gonna say he has a nice shad diet.
Yeah. Is that a squirrel up against that wall? Yep. I just seen it swirl right against that wall, pitched right to it, and he crushed it. Are they up on that, Travis?
Every time I get snagged, that's when you catch a fish, the camera starts rolling, dude. I'm just like tinkering around.
Dude, the timing's so good. Like, dang, that guy's always hung up.
Yeah, let me see.
Double.
Double, double?
Double double. I got a better fish.
Tell me when you're ready to swing him.
He's coming in hot.
You just fell off in the boat?
There's one. Close up. That guy, dude, that guy was hogging camera time. Did you see that? These fish sometimes, man, they're always about trying to hog camera time in Clear Lake. I've noticed that. A lot of them will jump right at the cameraman.
Nothing's worse than people trying to hog camera.
No.
What happened is I caught my fish, it came off on the side of the boat here.
Jeez.
I was waiting for Nick, he's a nice guy, but
Ambush!
apparently I get nothing for that.
In the shade.
They like the shade, they like the jig.
I'm gonna show you guys something. Let's get that fish back in there. Now, when you look at this shade line over here, take a look at this shade. There's the dead center of the shade. You got to look at this whole area right there. That thing's 15, 20 foot across, and it's about the same in width. So length, width, about the same. There's a line down that side, a line on the back side, a line next to the pilings right there, and a line out here. If you can trace those lines first, or fish the outside of it first before going into the heart of it, if you're getting a lot of bites, fish the lines first and start from what's nearest to you and work your way back so you don't pick off fish back there and pull them through active fish out here. You look right here at these pilings, both coming down on each side with this lift right here with the boat. This is an area where you pretty much need to know how to skip. You can pitch under there and you can probably pitch 5 or 6 feet back, but skipping, you're gonna be able to trace that whole shade line like I was talking about. So Travis is up front, but I'll shift with him and I'll skip that shade line instead. If you haven't watched my casting techniques video for bait casters, you should watch. This is a skip, just like that. This is about the roughest water you want to skip in. As you can see, that little flick skip right here landed about 4 or 5 feet in front of us and one about 25, 30 feet.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Getting jiggy with it.
Double hookup. We might have found another wad of fish. Oh, there go your pictures.
Oh. You got it? He's on, he's on.
Oh, that's a good hook set, dude. I don't know how big the fish,
That little guy.
but that was a beaut, bro. That was a beaut. Don't be afraid to fish the wind, people.
Yeah, this rough wind like this that we're fishing in some serious chop right here. But you gotta understand, we're fishing jigs with crawdad presentations on the back. I was fishing the Biwa Armor Craw. When it gets rough and this water slams up against these pilings, oftentimes crawdads are gonna get curious and come out because there's a lot of food getting mixed up. So it's a perfect time for a bass to pick off a crawdad in that rougher water.
Woo! Next dock. I like froggy.
We're back in the creeks now, looking for bigger fish, throwing frogs into shade pockets under tree lines here. Sun's still pretty high. We're getting closer to evening, but we're pitching in and around some timber, skipping frogs back under trees. And that was a really long pause right there. That pause was probably 5 or 6 seconds long before that fish bit it. So I'm hoping they'd be coming up a little bit more aggressive than that, because you can't cover nearly as much water when they're on that gotta be patient cast. Got it.
Hang with us, guys. We'll be right back. If you're in the area, make sure to check out Clear Lake's Vista Resort. What an awesome facility. Gorgeous rooms, incredible views, a nice little marina, launch ramp, and not to mention one of the most phenomenal crappie fishing locations on the lake. Make sure to check them out, guys, if you're around. It's well worth it. Oh, you heard they got weapons of big fish destruction? Well, you heard right. Biwa Fishing Performance is the newest company hitting the U.S. market by storm. With some of the sickest swim baits around and non-cookie cutter style lures that you could ever get your hands on. It's time to show these fish something new. Visit biwa.com. Hey guys, did you know that yours truly is now hosting Lucky Tackle Box's monthly panfish instructionals? And aside from relentless fish catching, I'll be breaking down the rigging and the gear you need to get going along the way. And of course, a few extra tips to help you score more fish on the goodies included in your box. So remember, the tug is our drug. So go visit LuckyTackleBox.com and get signed up today. Bigger, better, badder. The evolution of the buzzbait is upon us. The Evolution Baits Grass Burner is a high-performance bass snatcher machine. High-end components, inline displacement, larger profile, balanced body for fast or slower retrieves, better deflection, and oversized treble hooks. You wouldn't bring a slingshot to a gunfight, would you? Find out more at evolutionbaits.com. Attention Northern California anglers, have you been to Boat Country in Escalon with one of the largest selections of welded aluminum fishing boats from North River, Hughescraft, and now Crestliner? Chances are they have the right boat for you. And did I mention they have a full service center to take care of all your repair or boating maintenance needs? If you're a boat owner or just looking to become one, you owe it to yourself to check these guys out. Visit BoatCountryUSA.com or stop on by. We'll see you there. Did you know that P-Line makes specialized lines for all your fishing needs, from the super strong abrasive resistant CXX or the low stretch super stealthy CX Premium? Or maybe you're looking for invisibility or super bite detection with P-Line's 100% fluorocarbon. No matter what your needs, P-Line's got it covered. To find out more, visit P-Line.com.
can, baby.
Ever tried pulling a planer board next to your boat when trolling or fishing from a swift current bank? If not, you're missing out on one of the most phenomenal fish catching machines on the market today. With Yellowbird planer boards pulling your lines perpendicular to your boat, you can't help but catch more fish. Find out more by visiting www.yellowbirdproducts.com.
Punch and munch.
Out here doing a little clear leg punching. You know, I think that's a thing that a lot of people think, oh, it's only a Delta thing or it's an Okeechobee thing. There is tons of lake that have primroses and all sorts of pondweed and stuff that grow out like this. You can still see the bottom rolling. This guy was with another fish right there. So that guy raced another fish to his punch rig right there and still searching for his buddy. He's going right back there. That's funny. You know, we're catching fish on the frog right there. When you pull up to something like that, they're not going to get it. What do you got, an ounce or an ounce and a half?
Got an ounce.
Got an ounce even with that big tungsten weight on the front, a bobber stop on the front, a creature bait, just a standard punch rig, punching that pondweed, punching that primrose. It's readily available in lots of lakes, and it's isolated. It's usually in smaller sections. That's no bigger than maybe 10 or 12 square feet, that whole entire area. That means more than likely, if there's gonna be a fish, it's gonna be right there. You don't need hundreds of yards of that stuff. That isolated stuff is more valuable for punching on lakes.
Totally agree. This is the first. That was the first cast I made with this all day long.
And 100%.
And when I fish the summertime like that, I always have this tied up just for that time. You roll up in that perfect little spot that you can't fish it with anything else.
You don't have it tied on, you're not catching them.
Yep.
See that carp sunning himself back there. Down in it.
Down in it, dude. I think the jig.
Yep.
Let's shop.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, there we go.
Dude.
That's a good one.
Looks like that's his first meal too.
Yep. Definitely not fat. Look how porker. Look at how porker that thing is. That's normally the frame of about a 2.5 pound fish. That thing's pushing 3 3/4, maybe cool, 4. Look at the gut on that thing. That is a thick jig fish. So we were skipping and pitching the frog back in there under the timber and stuff, and you know, we were getting little ones, and I said, man, let's do that flip thing again. Travis flipped in there, punched a fish. I said, I'm gonna skip the jig back under the trees because skipping's one of my favorite techniques. I love to skip. Not a lot of guys are real avid at it, and it can get you a ton of big fish, and sure enough.
So as Travis and I moved further back into the slough, we noticed that a good percentage of our strikes, our better strikes, were coming within the first foot or two of the bank. So Travis continued to punch where he hooked up with that great big one. From there, I continued to throw the black and red frog up tight. And then we were hearing these slurping noises going on under the primrose, under that pondweed. So we started staring at the bank a little bit closer, and we noticed a lot of crawfish burrowing up against the bank, and all those big bass seemed to notice as well, and they were sitting there right against the bank waiting to ambush. So I was skipping a jig up, we were throwing the frog up there. We established that pattern a little late in the day. We still had a pattern we wanted to try for day 2, but we knew our fallback pattern would be flipping, punching, throwing jigs up tight to the bank, and getting those bass waiting to execute on those crawfish dropping in.
Off by the fish finder.
7 for 10. There's one.
Here we go.
Try. You know what? I want to show you guys a tip real quick here too. I was just talking to Travis about something I like to do, and you know, a lot of advanced bass anglers do this, but when you're skipping a jig or pitching a jig into heavy cover, when you first get it, the weed guard's like real tight and pushed together. What I like to do is spread that weed guard out, and I grab the sides and I push them down, then I grab the middle and I force them out, and you can see now that weed guard's real flared like that, it helps it roll around timber better, and it keeps that hook point at a wider stance to where it'll roll it out and roll it out, and less stuff will get caught on there, and it finds its way through timber, tumbling through a lot better when you get that weed guard spread out. By the way, guys, we're out here fishing on Travis's birthday. Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, well, thank you, man.
Hopefully he gets a double-digit birthday fish. And it's even cool if his double-digit birthday fish bites my line. I'll let him pose with it, because that's the thing you do on your friend's birthdays.
Well, I would appreciate it if any fish I catch at all, you just say it's a double digit.
That's true.
You just give me that, the benefit of the doubt.
What I'm going to do today is I'm going to reference fish to be much heavier than they are in regards to Travis's catches. And I need you guys to support that for his birthday.
Oh, look at it small. Yes. Yes. Oh. Wow, how many are in here? Holy cow.
A lot.
I didn't even throw that towards a real target right there.
That's the key difference.
Oh, shoot, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, he tried to hit it in the, he missed it though.
On top.
There we go. That was cool, man.
That was cool.
So it was in the grass and he swirled at it. He didn't even know where it was. He just tried to get it anyway, and then it finally popped it out of the grass.
I'm wondering if I should throw a frog back in there.
He whacked it. If they're that aggressive, let's try throwing a frog. Have a chance of getting a bigger fish, something that really wants to get nasty. And then also, you always want to test what's going on. We're obviously on a jig bite, but we're catching some, 1.5, 2 pounders. Let's see if the bigger fish are looking for the surface stuff. But if not, see, I'm still throwing a jig. If I keep getting bit and then we'll go back. But you always want to be just checking,
You guys know me, I like to throw big frogs, but this is like your standard size poppin' frog right here in all black. And if you see around the 2 shanks of those hooks right there, I have it wrapped with solder. My frog literally sits in the water like this. It's real deep. I pop it and pause it. The reason why, when a bass comes to inhale a frog and he's sitting on the surface, that's a lot more restriction that he has to do to engulf that frog, versus that weight right there, when they come up to suck it in, boom, it drops down deeper. And if you notice, like I always say, pause when they get the frog, make sure they got it. All of my fish, I went 8 for 10 yesterday?
Yep.
8 for 10 yesterday, and they're all hooked back in the roof of the mouth. And I'm waiting, and this is dropping in deeper. I do not do this with a frog with a pointed nose. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of solder just to get it sit in a little bit deeper if I'm fishing in snot. But open water, the pointed nose, the standard frog, I don't weigh it down. If I'm fishing on snot, I do a little bit of solder so it pushes down deeper in that grass. But my popping frogs, I always do this. I want them to sit deep and nose up. You're gonna see me, most of the time, I'm gonna pitch up to this bank to show you an example. I'm getting the jig down. If I feel like I'm in rocks, I'm gonna drag it with my rod tip up and just bump those rocks, just kind of shake it through those rocks and get it through there. Now, if I feel like it's loaded up with a lot of grass, you're gonna see me reel down and pop it through. Here, and we're on. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna pop it out of that grass. And the reason why, I just don't wanna slow drag it through grass. If you're dragging grass on there, they're not gonna bite it. It's gonna show them that your presentation's fake. And when you repitch in there, they might be wise to it at that point. But I'm gonna slow drag through rocks. If I'm coming down contour like loose gravel, I kind of just like to lift it and drop it, lift it and drop it. So the trailer kicks over on it and shows them a little action. Coming through grass, I'm gonna wait for it to load up, snap it through, then I'm gonna pause and let it fall right back down on the other side of that grass.
3.5 feet. Okay. Yes. Oh man. Holy cow, that fish.
He was leaving.
Oh, there we go.
There's one.
They liked the pillars right here. That's a double.
Swing out to the left, swing out to the left.
Nothing wrong with a 5-pounder on your birthday, dude.
Yeah, dude, to get a 4 or 5 pounder like that, I mean, it's pushing 4 3/4, 5. To get that on your birthday is special. Happy birthday, man. That's a great fish.
Chuck it. I'm
you didn't want a Facebook picture with that one? Are you on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you are on. Just sitting there.
The line was around the pillar though.
Oh,
so
I was wondering what was going on.
I was caught up, but I'm like, that pillar's pulling back.
Yeah, it is.
It's the lively pillars.
There are so many fish up here. Now, naturally, you want to be throwing to the shady side of these, but it's still relatively early in the morning, so you can fish a little bit looser, and the fish is willing to come out for it a little bit farther. And since Travis threw right there, I'm going to throw for Big Betty.
Going Big Betty?
No, I'm gonna throw that one.
No,
I can't steal from you on your birthday.
Okay, you go Big Betty. Oh, the first part of the shade to the right, that little corner right there.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go next Big Betty pillar. Ready?
That's
Let's
fair.
do it same time. We need
same
double.
time?
Oh yeah, same time.
Okay.
Same time. Big
Okay,
Betty
same
buddies. All right, ready to go. Let's do it. Oh, I shorted it, dude. Yes.
He's around the pole.
Oh,
big one.
that is Big Betty.
Oh!
Oh, it came off.
No, it's a 5-pounder. No.
You lost Shirley Susie, dude?
Shirley, I lost Shirley. Big Betty's back there. That was Shirley Susie. Shirley Susie was an easy 5. She was wrapped around the pole, so I couldn't.
Oh,
I didn't get a good hook set on her.
Yeah, I think that absorbed the hook set. Hey yo! That's fired up. Oh, 6-pounder in the morning.
6-pounder. Oh.
He ain't setting no records, but there ain't nothing wrong with a 3.5, 3 3/4 pound bass.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that.
Whew.
Hey, that's a little bit better.
Good thing there's no spider webs under here. That would be
Got it.
really weird.
Yeah, there's no spider webs at all. Watch your head.
People don't realize the lipless. Whoa, it's very dangerous.
Your hand got lucky. Your hand got lucky.
The lipless? We'll wake them up in the summertime, man. It's
It can.
A lot of people go, oh, it's a springtime bait. Boulder Dash.
Another little one on the jig, starting to find them. Now, Travis and I were talking, and Travis said, what did you say? Something when the lake was real low, you were searching out docks that still had deep water on the end, right?
Yep.
And a lot of these other docks, you could see the bottom. Now, what that means is big fish like easy transitional areas. Areas where they can go from deep to shallow, that are gonna hold fish, that have wind current, good hiding spots for them. If a fish only has to travel a short distance, that fish could be a resident to that area because it has spring spawning grounds up flat. It's got deep summer feeding spots. It's got shallow stuff, lots of piling, wind blowing bank. The bait's gonna come here. So what he did is he searched out a lot of those docks with that deeper water on the end. So now that the lake level's up, we know what better docks have better transitional areas. Therefore, more than likely they're gonna hold bigger fish. We haven't really stumbled into those real big ones yet, but that's been the name of the game. Everyone has to filter through all these medium-sized ones right now, right?
Exactly. And when we're fishing miles and miles, we have all these docks. What makes any of them different than the other ones? And there's times when this deeper water, you know, the bowl of this northern end of the lake, the deeper water kind of cuts to some of the shoreline every once in a while a little closer.
Yeah.
And those docks that are closest to that little drop off or anything like that, and I'm talking maybe a few feet deeper, where a lot of these, the end of the docks are in 4 feet of water, and it's, you know, we get to these ones where they're about 6 feet of water. That makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah,
for these
6
fish to move
inches
up.
can make all the difference in a world in a featureless place. But you know, if you find a foot or two, big difference, isolate those, mark them on your graph, mark them on a map, and notice when you're out catching fish that day. Look back and you can see those key differences. Decent.
I like that, dude. That line, when you hear that line,
There we go.
like a guitar string, dude.
It's a little better bass. A little better. 2.5. Not bad. What's critical when you flip a piling, let's say I flip it out there and it's 7 feet, I need to give him some slack and watch the bow in my line as it falls. I'm watching my line very closely to see if my line changes directions, or I see it jump real quick, or a little acceleration as it's dropping. Then I'll click over and reel down to feel if he's there. It's critical that you have that slack line so it can free fall right down the side of these pilings. You don't want it to pendulum away back at you. That's not really going to get you a lot of bites. That free fall down right into those shade pockets is what's going to get them to execute on that jig falling down. On a bait caster, you have to feed it. What you can do is if you're pitching in there, finish with your rod tip really high, so when you drop, that's 6 or 7 foot of slack, or click over 1, 2, 3, give them a couple of big strips like that. Travis has got one. Yeah.
I was doing exactly what you're talking about too.
Yeah.
I was matching up to the.
He was demonstrating. Fish on. Oh, big one.
It's fighting. Yeah, it's fighting. Look at that. Oh,
There we go.
That's got some weight on it, dude.
Oh, I forgot. For Travis today, that is a 6.
Yes. This is a birthday 6-pounder.
We count that as 6 today.
So here's something to kind of take note to. When I'm fishing vertical structure, I'm trying to ask myself, are these fish relating to the cover or are they really holding tight to it? And we just came through here. I was throwing the lipless and I was kind of fan casting, I'm yo-yoing it, but I can't get it too tight to this cover because I'm gonna end up snagging it and stuff. So I'm fishing more around it to see if there's fish just kind of hanging around. Nick is throwing his cast right up in the shade, right up against letting it fall right down against the pillars. He got some big bites through here. I caught some little fish. So as we're gonna turn around and go back through here, I picked up and put a jig, and the first real piling we came to, we catch a better fish. So
Decent fish.
Oh, wow.
Decent fish.
Wow. Nick. Yeah.
He's boat flipping.
Boat flipping? Yes.
There's
That a boy!
There's our first 5.
That a boy!
She came up and kissed on it. That's not bad. We had pulled in, and I had flipped one over here that had to be 8+, but just managed to get around a piling. I'm not sure if we got that clip or not, but she's ripping drag, and I was thumbing the spool, and there's, all these screws and everything on here, and I was thinking to myself, man, like, I got the highest position possible, but there's only so much you can do. You can't really horse them against this stuff, otherwise you're gonna break your own line. If you give them drag and let them get out, sometimes they can weave in and out of this, and then you have no chance at all. So the only thing you can do is try to come up on the fish and get a high vertical position. It broke me off up the line, not at the jig, so it was clearly up against something sharp, but just like that, we got the clue. I tried to stay positive about it and not get upset about losing that fish. We got the clue, we came back through, and we've got 2 big ones since then. So take the clues, don't get upset over missed opportunities.
Are you snagged or is he?
No, it's big. And I'm snagged. And, he's ripping drag off. Oh, he broke off.
No, Nick.
He broke off.
No,
Two. There's one. Oh, there's one, dude. We found the big one. We found the big one.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay, that's even better. There's a 6.5, 7. Yeah. Yes.
Look at that.
Okay, now we're in the game.
Too.
Now we're in the game.
Yes, we haven't moved. We haven't moved. Nick caught his right there. I caught mine right there.
And the reason we're going back through, we're moving at a good pace. You've seen Travis fishing that lipless. Let's take a Facebook picture with this. You've seen Travis moving that lipless through here. So he's going at a better pace. So I'm flipping probably maybe 20% of these posts coming through. And going back through, a lot of time just being more thorough and going back through or changing your angle is giving these fish a new look. Yep. And that's exactly what we did. We didn't just blow on to the next thing. We got our clue, we slowed down and picked it apart. And there you go, just like that. His lipless baby.
He's not hooked all that great, but we did. It's the yo-yo. Whenever I come into new spots, I like using the lipless because it's something you can make a lot of casts real quick. And I clearly like when you're looking for these wads of fish where there's like, end up being a big school, you can figure out if where they're positioned, what side of the dock, if they're there.
If they're there, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Real fast, yep.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh.
I don't ever go fishing without a punching setup. I don't care if I'm in the Clearwater at Lake Havasu or up here up here at Clear Lake. When you come up to some nasty stuff, you want to have this pitching set up. And I mean, our day's done and we're still catching fish here. We're trying to get off the water and there's still some great fish to be had.
Okay, I'm just gonna let that bleed out. Oh, big one. Woo-hoo! That's it. Oh yeah. Oh, get in the boat. Get in the boat. Yeah. Okay, so our 22 went to about 25, 26. That's a birthday present right there. A solid 5.5, close to 6. Another one about 6.5, close to 7. About 26-pound bag together today. 26, 25 to 27, somewhere in there. We were bouncing around. We weren't weighing them. These are all guesstimates, but man, what a fun day out here summer fishing on Clear Lake. Dude, doesn't get much better. I mean, hopefully you guys got a bunch of great tips from this. Absolutely appreciate you guys watching the show. If you're not subscribed to Lucky Tackle Box, by the way, Travis hosts the bass stuff, and I'm starting to do some of the bass stuff too. But, Lucky Tackle Box is an awesome program. That's Travis's primary gig. It's one of my gigs. Tons of the baits we actually used today were from those boxes as well as my advertisers. So, Yeah, outside of that, I think that's pretty much all we used is my guy's stuff and Lucky Tackle Box products.
Yes. You know, one of the things about using the Lucky Tackle Box so much this year, you know, we've become so comfortable with all those baits in that box.
Yeah.
And the reality is we put a lot of great baits in there. So it's all about
For sure.
you know, connecting our audience to these new companies and stuff. And
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, hopefully you guys got a ton of great tips. Appreciate you watching. InformativeFisherman.com, social media on YouTube, Informative Fisherman, Lucky Tackle Box, and Instagram as well, guys. See you next time.